We're here to talk about the Swing Bridge project, funded by the National Foundation for Youth Music. The first Swing Bridge project identified what were mostly city schools.
The project was evaluated, it was seen to be very successful, but we were aware that we were only addressing possibly the urban community. And so Swing Bridge 2 was basically designed to extend the project into our rural communities, where access to music, access to modern technology, all those kind of things are sometimes of more difficulty than they are in a city.
Music is for everyone and everyone has a voice and everyone has a right to express their opinions. Music is just a fantastic medium through which to actually communicate. When the children are learning to sing, they're actually learning a language, and they're learning their own language, and sometimes they're learning an additional language. So they're learning to acquire language and communicate with their peers, but also with the teaching staff and their parents.
It astounded me that children were starting school not knowing a single nursery rhyme. Communication and language is one of those really, really prime skills that children need to have in order for good learning to take place.
I do a lot of action songs, so they're actually developing gross and fine motor skills. They're also actively involved physically through play, so it's all to do with the holistic development of the child.
I work with my percussion instruments, which are all the drums from many parts around the world. And I get the children involved with playing the instruments with me. I will start to play what I call the jungle drum. Then I'll pick one of the children out to come and have a go themselves and just be creative and just use their own ideas of making sounds and rhythms on the drum. While I'm playing the snare drum with brushes, we can all sing together. So it's a great way of getting all the children involved straight away to participate. So, for example, if you've got some children that are very shy, this is a great way to break that mold by everybody singing, and they'll join in much more then. I get them all involved in dancing, so I play all these rhythms with the drums and get them all moving to the rhythms, which is a great way of letting them have fun, being themselves again, being creative with their movements. It gets them to be very creative, more involved. It helps them with their listening skills, participation with other children so they can join in and work as a team sometimes. This one little girl came up and played this instrument, didn't say a word. She sat back down, and later in that session she actually spoke. She said, "Thank you, Pedro, I hope you come and see us again." Because that girl hadn't spoken before in that class in 4 years. So it was the music that she would actually feel she can say something. Then you realise how powerful music can be.
I bring my plastic band to a session. We have bottles and buttons and barrels and bearings and broom handles, and we shake them and hit them and roll them and rattle them and make all sorts of sounds.
Well, you could see by their faces that they love this. The way they can just go in and explore, interact with the instruments, and then also the listener. They're listening to Ben, they're following his instructions, and he sings instructions, they follow him as they move around the hall. So it's not just music and singing, it's moving rhythmically.
Kids explore. They see what sounds they can find, they see what shapes they can make, they play. And through their playing, they forge friendships, they forge relationships, they find leaders and followers, they find new skills. There, of course, is a massive long history of people saying music helps with phonics, music helps with speech and language, music helps with confidence, it helps with basic numeracy. I think you have to use what you got, use what you can. And that's a brilliant skill as well. There you go, that's not on the curriculum.
It benefits us as practitioners, it benefits the children enormously, and the way they builds up their self-esteem and their confidence is brilliant.
Yeah, we're really fortunate that we've been able to work with the music pool because they've enabled us as teachers to further our own development, personally and professionally.
Coming to St Martin's really places an importance on music and the arts within our school. It gives the children wider opportunities to communicate. It gives them different forms of expression. There's no doubt about it, we've seen a definite impact on our communication and language skills within our early years setting. And that in itself is reason enough for Swingbridge to come and visit us. These children are benefiting hugely.
To work with specialists that were on the same page completely. It's been fantastic.
Those kind of creative arts, music, drama, singing, actually give us the space to find out who we are as people, to make judgments about what's right and wrong, about how we treat each other. So without projects like these, we would be a much poorer place. We would be poorer practically, we would be poorer emotionally, and we would be poorer as a society. Swingbridge has delivered, and I hope will continue in one guise or another to deliver music to groups of children who otherwise wouldn't have that chance, who maybe don't have that exposure to music in their homes, and that they can choose to have maybe a career in music or just a life that is enhanced by music in the future.
It is to be hoped that the Swingbridge project will have left a long-lasting legacy.